Okay. What is up, Spurs Nation? You're tuning into the Order on the Court Weekend Mailbag Sunday edition. Today is June. We're in June already. God dang. June 7th, Sunday. We're going to take a few of your questions. First question that comes up in today's episode. Actually, there's two questions, right? There's one right here, and there's going to be one right here. Now, they're both kind of the same, okay? The answer, in other words. Let me talk about the first one. First, Hot Pockets or pizza rolls? Let's keep it short. Now, the same explanation for this question is going to be the same one I use for the next question. And the answer is, it doesn't even come close. There's no question. Hot Pockets all day, every day. If I'm 12 years old and if I'm at a friend's sleepover, then yeah, sure. And he busts out some pizza rolls, I'm going to eat them. They're going to be delicious. It's Hot Pockets all day, every day. They're there when you need them. They come in a variety of flavors. It only takes 2 minutes to heat it up and you're good to go. Hot Pockets got me through college. Pizza rolls didn't get me through nothing. The same explanation goes for Marco Bellinelli. There's no question. He is a Spur for life, can retire here for all I care. He's earned that. He's a champion. He helped bring a championship to San Antonio. So he can retire here. He can stay and coach here. He can be here forever. My San Antonio Spurs door is always open to Marco Bellinelli. Now, how much he plays and who he plays over and how many shots he takes or blah, blah, that's a different conversation. I understand that conversation, but I'm not going to hold this season against Marco Bellinelli. A lot of people are throwing him out there for what? Just because he didn't shoot the ball that well this year? He's a champion. Have some respect. He helped us. He was a huge part of what we did in 2014. And he's been a huge part of what we've been doing here for the past few years, so just, get off Marco's back a little bit. He's going to be okay, but he's a Spur for life. And there's no question. It doesn't even come close. Hot Pockets every day, all day. This next question comes from CHUNG on YouTube. I think it's just Chung, just spelled separately. But it reads, "Hi, I love your videos and I love the Spurs. Can you please make some videos on which prospects are best fits for the Spurs in the 2020 NBA draft? Look forward to your video." Chung, I'm gonna call you Chung. There's a video on the OOC YouTube channel. You need to go and subscribe to the Order on the Court. You can type that in on YouTube. And you'll see the OOC channel there. Click on it. There's going to be a lot of pre-draft coverage. Actually, we were getting ready we had started all this pre-draft coverage already because we weren't sure if there was going to be an NBA season. So we actually had a preview of a show that we're doing called Next Up, right? And that's Harrison Murphy's show. He's one of the guys over there on OOC. You can follow him at San Antonio Spurs Talk on Facebook and SA Spurs Talk on Instagram and Twitter. But he works in the collegiate arena, and he's very familiar with college athletes that come in and out of there every year, a lot more than I am. I mean, I kind of get into the draft once the NBA season is over. I follow March Madness a little bit, but Harrison has his ear to the ground throughout, the majority of the season. So stay tuned for that show when it comes up, but we're going to have a lot of pre-draft content prepared for all of our subscribers to go to OOCspurs.com and check out our subscriptions, and because that's where Next Up is going to be hosted. Next Up isn't going to be a free show. It's going to be on our 6-man membership or higher. So make sure you go over there to go check that out if you're someone who's really into the draft, into college prospects and the combine. And once the draft happens, we get real into summer league, and so we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff coming your way. If there is a summer league this year, I mean, who knows what's gonna happen, but stay tuned. Appreciate the question. The next question comes from Chris Besaw on YouTube. And it says, just an idea for an incentive of becoming a starter. Maybe let that individual be a guest star on one of your episodes. I don't know how hard that would be to coordinate, but I would pay $15 to talk Spurs basketball with you guys. And Chris, let me answer your question, right now. That's something that we are working on. Thank you for the suggestion. Thank you for the comment. We're going to call it Starters Play, right? And that's going to be part of our starting level subscription. Obviously starters, they're in the game, they get, to see the action, they're in it. So we want to provide that opportunity for our subscribers too. Now, exactly what you said, there's going to be some coordination and some logistical obstacles that we're going to have to get over or go around, but we will. And that's something that we do want to bring our subscribers onto our shows periodically, onto either, if it's either on a live stream or a podcast or a mailbag. Maybe they can do a mailbag episode with us. All types of opportunities for our subscribers to get on with us. That's a big part of that's a big part of what the whole OOC Spurs thing was built on. That idea of collaboration and engaging with you guys, with Spurs Nations, because we all have our own individual platforms. I'm Bucking Spurs, Maddie's San Antonio Spurs fan blog, Harrison San Antonio Spurs Talk, Destin's Clan the Spurs Fan, or Spurs Wave on Instagram. We all have our own, deal, our own little worlds, our own little bubbles in the Spurs universe. But when we come together and collaborate, we all had this idea of, we wanted to give you guys the voice, and being a starter, being on that starter level is going to give you the opportunity to do that with us. So we're really excited about all this stuff. And so we're officially launching when the NBA starts up, which is kind of right now. Our site is active. You guys can go to our oocspurs.com and check out the pages there and the subscriptions there and see what we're all about. Thanks for the question. Thanks for the suggestion. All right, the final question of today comes from Daily Pick of Lonnie Walker the fourth on Instagram, and the question reads: what realistic trade do you see the Spurs doing in the offseason? A lot of speculation on that question, and I think it all really starts with DeMar DeRozan, and it all starts with what decision he's going to make, if he's going to decide to stay with the team or opt out and become a free agent. That opens up two completely different worlds for the San Antonio Spurs, and when it comes to player acquisition via trade or free agency or draft, that really, everything really does pivot on that decision. So if it was in a world where DeMar DeRozan stays and opts in for another year, I really don't see us making any moves. I think we made our moves this past summer, for this team, for the LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan team. We made our draft picks. We brought in Damari Carroll. We re-signed Rudy Gay. A lot of these moves were, Trey Lyles, the Marcus Morris situation, all that happened, I think, with the foresight and building around these two guys. So I think, if DeMar opts in, I don't see us making any moves too drastically. I think we just bring up our young players, I think is what we do. So no real big trades there. I don't see us making a big trade. If we plan on keeping LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan, if we're in a world where DeMar DeRozan opts out and becomes a free agent, and then, things really open up for the Spurs, then you consider trading some of your veteran pieces, maybe. I don't think we move any of these young guys. See, I'm talking about DeMar DeRozan, but really, there's a lot of decisions to be made this offseason. DeMar DeRozan is just one of them, and then that's an avalanche of other decisions, right? Yeah, but then you also got Bryn Forbes. Are we going to be able to bring him back? Jakob Poeltl, are we going to be able to bring them back? Drew Eubanks' contract is up. Are we bringing him back? Chimezie Metu's contract is going to be up. Quindary Weatherspoon, I talked to him the other day to Jonas Clark from Project Spurs, and he was like, a lot of people don't. I didn't get it, until he brought it up to my attention. But Quindary's on a one year deal, so we have to bring Quindary back as well. There's a lot of decisions that we have to make. Now, all of those players that I just listed, I would love for them all to come back, even DeMar DeRozan. Like I would love for DeMar to stay here and us change our style of play, but him be a part of it. I think the way that we play now, and it's not his fault, we're giving him the ball. We're giving him his 20 touches. LaMarcus is getting his 20 touches. We're feeding the guys that need the touches. And you know what? They're the better players on the team. They deserve the touches. But I think we've gotten a sample size over 2 seasons that this style of play isn't going to work. We're not that competitive, and if you can blame it on the rotations and whatnot, but the Spurs staff know what they're doing. They put the product out there on the floor to be successful, right? They're not putting a product out there on the floor to lose games. That's not what we do. That's why we're in this race right now, coming back into the season versus being at home. You know, that's the difference. So who knows, you know, what trades we're going to be making in the future, but really there's too many questions right now to be made. There's too many questions to be had, too many decisions that a lot of people need to make. Spurs, individual free agents, second year draft picks from the past 3 years. What are, you know, the kind of time is up to make a decision on these guys. You know, are we going to bring them back or not? You know, so all of those things are on our plate this offseason. And then we have the draft. You know, who are we looking at in the draft? You know, well, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough offseason. That's for sure. A lot of changes, very possibly. And then very possibly not that many changes at all. If DeMar opts in and we keep LaMarcus Aldridge and we try to run it back for one more year at least, you know, that's interesting. I love all the possibilities. I think we as Spurs Nation put all the trust in the world for, you know, in our organization, and they've earned that, and we're cool with whatever happens. But thank you for the question. Official pick of Lonnie Walker IV on Instagram. Spurs Nation, go to Twitter, go to Instagram, go to @BuckingSpurs to follow me there. Make sure you go to OOCSpurs.com. Go to OOC Spurs on Twitter. Follow all those guys, everything we got going on that collaboration. Make sure to go to projectspurs.com. See what film rooms we're dropping over there. We're putting content over there as well. I am. And then, make sure to like this video, subscribe to this video, comment, share it. A lot of people ask, you know, why don't we have enough subscribers? Y'all love what we do. We get a lot of positive feedback in our comment section, and the likes versus dislikes, you know, there's not many. But you know, we appreciate you guys. But if you want to see us grow, share the video. All right, share the video. That's all you can do. That's all we ask for you guys to do. Enjoy it, share it, pass it on. All right, go Spurs, go. We'll catch you on next week's episode of Mailbag. Adios.